what is your take on this A2 for 48 inches for 570?
It's like the main first thing I focused on in my video earlier on with the OLED guide is for that price, like bedroom or secondary TV,
Hmm.
um, you know, that's like a kind of a no-brainer unless you need something bigger.
Yeah, it's a really good deal. Even if you're gonna use it as a computer monitor and you can't go past 60. Yes, it doesn't go to 120 hertz. Not being a 120 hertz panel kind of sucks, but it's still an OLED TV, so you're gonna get really good picture quality out of it for that price. The X90K. I haven't seen the TV, but you said it was pretty good this year, other than the blooming.
See, the blooming really like yes, it has blooming, but
Hmm.
in real content most of the time that's not an issue. It's the off
Right.
angle is its biggest issue. So, black bars not the greatest, not the worst. Contrast is excellent on it
Hmm.
because it doesn't have the filter to lower the contrast. So,
Yeah, I think this could be the best 85-inch deal right now. Um, I struggle to find something better for the deal.
yeah, like I said, the 900H, 2 years ago I got that for that price and really enjoyed it except for the gaming problems, and this doesn't have any of those gaming problems. So this is
Mm.
also, more capable and a better overall TV now. So this is like what people wished the 900H was 2 years ago.
You said the color's better this year because they're using quantum dot,
Yep.
so that's a plus. And you're getting the XR processor. So where do you draw the line when you're thinking about like just a regular full array TV versus a mini LED TV? Like
I don't draw a line. To
you
me,
don't you don't
I'll compare them equally because I mean there's some mini LEDs with 120 zones, whereas there's
True.
full array local dimming non-mini LEDs with more than that. So it just doesn't really matter how many zones there are. It matters how it just that with the processing works together.
Right. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
like
And the
the
algorithm.
QNED 85 65-inch had 180 zones, um, and those 180 zones on that TV worked better than the what was it over 1,000 or whatever on the QNED 90 last year. So
Hmm.
the processing made that difference.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that sometimes less zones isn't always the worst thing.
Hmm.
If they can get some good algorithms and the processing improvements there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that there's a lot of people that shy away from the full array because it's not mini LED this year. So that's why I asked that question. You can get the 55-inch A80J for $1,000 right now. Um, it's a tremendous deal if you are a Total Tech member. And then there's a 65-inch QN90A for $12.99, which is a really good deal as well. It's last
Hmm.
year's TVs, but still, to me, the 83 one to grab is the C2.
To me, the 83 is to not grab and to get the
Don't grab. Okay.
C277.
So you're convinced like
Every 83-inch panel, every
mhm.
single one that I have seen, has had bad uniformity
Oh wow.
comparatively to the 77s.
That's a
And to
bummer.
me, like, I've had both. There is a size difference, but it is not as noticeable as like a 65 to 77 jump or
Mhm.
something like that. So, um, the extra $1,500 that you have to pay to go is not worth it. And even if the price wasn't that much, I would have a hard time doing it because of the just lower quality panel on the 83 compared to the 77.
Yeah. And then here's the other thing is that 85-inch QN90B 2800. I look at it like when I think about it compared to a 77-inch, you can get a bigger TV and not pay that much more.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're going to be going with an LCD based display, watch the reviews and make sure you're okay with the way the Tizen system is and everything else, and then you're going to deal with DSE. Hopefully, you get a good one. But yeah, I mean, it's a good value for what you're getting,
Yeah.
assuming everything else is either you can live with it or like the DSE is not that bad and things like that.
Hmm. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was I don't hear this mentioned very much. It's a small thing, but it's cool. With the I guess every Samsung TV is giving you a free Xbox controller if you buy it on Best Buy.
Hmm.
And I think if you buy it from Samsung, you get a Game Pass with it. So kind of cool that they're doing that. They're trying to promote their cloud gaming for Xbox. And I tested it; works pretty good. 55-inch TVs. I think eventually, like, there's not gonna be many people looking for 55-inch anymore. It just
Yeah,
feels that way, doesn't it?
yeah. It's like when I did my guides, I was just more like, if you have X amount of money, factoring in size, quality, and everything else, what should you get, and then where should you not spend more because you're not gonna get a big upgrade for an extra $100 or $200 or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you save the money unless you can go up a bigger tier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so like 55s were kind of rare on my list because you can get the TCL. Um, was it? I think it was the 5 Series TCL 65-inch for a good enough price that like you pretty much go from that up to a U8H or the
Yeah.
$1,000 range.
Right. Yeah. There's not a huge gap between 55 and 65 anymore price wise, especially
Mhm.
for those types of TVs. This TV, I have no idea why this TV exists. The QN700B, I don't know why they made this TV. It's just
Maybe the way they're like cutting glass or something or panels or whatever, they ended
maybe.
up with some 55 inches that they're like, how do we get rid of these?
Yeah, it's a 60 hertz panel too.
Yeah,
Like
that's weird. I don't
that
know.
is crazy weird. Yeah. So that's one that always sticks out as weird to me. Um, Again, if you need the one connect box, I think these QN95s aren't bad if you want that solution. A lot of people do like that, much like the G2 series. I think that the value that you get with the G2 is really underlooked, and I think that whole 5-year warranty and then the mounting bracket with it can actually save people some money if they are doing it a certain way, you know? Like if they're getting a C2, they're getting a mounting bracket anyway, and then they're also getting a warranty, it might be just better to buy a G2. The value is always there with the G2, and of course the G2 is a better TV
Yeah,
than
I
the
just wish
C2.
the 77 G2 was on its Black Friday sale.
Yeah,
'Cause right now it's 1,100 more than the C2, and it shouldn't be
right.
that.
Yeah. I wonder why that doesn't have a Black Friday price yet. It's a bummer to me. This is still for me. It's a no-brainer deal. If you are a gamer and you want 55-inch OLED. So, what's the biggest thing that sticks out to you with Black Friday this year?
I think this year it's a lot easier because there's like two main highlights, and that's the U8H and the 77C2.
In 77-inch, I think the choice is pretty clear there. That the best price and the best deal for a 77-inch, if you're looking at a 77-inch OLED, is the C2. Um, it doesn't seem like there's any other way to go. I don't know why Sony wanted to not price it the same as the C2.
I think it's just more that Sony can ride on their reputation from last year a little
Yeah.
bit more, so they don't feel that they probably still are just getting good sales anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
why drop the price more than they need to?
Yep. And in the 65-inch size, I think that like there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition in the 65-inch size, and everybody's budget is taken care of in that range. I think there's a lot of great deals in the 65-inch range.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's like on a purely value basis, I would say the C265 is also like up there and,
mhm.
and what I would pick. But because of the pink tint, because of the uniformity, that's where it's like the S95B isn't a whole lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So, if that pink tint is going to bother you, if you get a bad panel with the C2, whatever, then just go for the S95B.
Mhm.
But again, that's where it's like a lot of people were saying they didn't want to buy it now because of this update. And I
Yeah.
was telling people, like,
It's not
don't worry about that update right now.
right.
Still buy the TV. Just you use a USB drive, update it to 1304, and then don't connect it online, and then
Mhm.
just use a Apple TV or whatever.